Hello everyone. My name is Van, and ever since I moved out, some of my friends and also my sister's been telling me that I should make a vlog about my life. So today I finally do it. And recently I've watched a lot of vlog of just people straight up talking to the camera and no fancy editing or anything like that. And I like those videos though. I think to start with my first vlog, this will be the format that I'll do. It's just me going to talk for the next, I don't know how many minutes this is going to be, just freestyling. Um, but I do have something I think I want to talk about today. Um, I just want to talk about how lucky I am in life so far. And this is definitely not to boast about anything. I feel lucky a lot of time and I feel unlucky a lot of time. And it's so during those time I want to think back of the good memory and having something as a proof of how lucky I am. It's just I feel like in the future this is going to make me feel a lot better. And yeah, I've done this before, and I feel like yeah, if you talk about it, you kind of manifest it in somehow also, and you kind of remind yourself of where you are in life and how have you been. So sometimes it makes life feel less bad than it is. So yeah, uh, I've 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 been a lucky guy. I have to say that. Um, to get where I'm at right now, um, honestly, I would contribute that to luck a lot. Um, so I think a good way to talk about this is just start, since I was born in, I feel like definitely I was born in a right family, I have to say. I have a good parents, I have a lovely siblings, and my mom has six other siblings who then led to me having I think more than 15 cousins, and some of them are really close to my age, so we've been growing up together. You maybe are seeing this video, um, but yeah, that made me have a really happy childhood, and I feel like I've been loved, and I've heard from my parent that I was like a very difficult child, and to be loved regardless is a lucky thing. And so when I went into secondary school, the next thing I feel lucky about is that I had a really good math teacher that ultimately kind of teach me how to study at that time. I mean, set aside math knowledge and everything. I don't think I remember everything now, but definitely I have learned how to study, and I think it's a really important thing to know in life. At that time, honestly, the only goal I have in my life is to get to a high school that my brother previously went. And it seriously was the only goal in my life at that point. That's all I want to accomplish and to work toward for. And I work hard. I work hard for that. The typical Asian kids after school, cram school story. Yeah, I've been through that, and it was crazy. And well, I made it into the school barely. Well, that year the school decided to make the exam very hard, so hard that they have to lower the entrance grade. And yeah, maybe that is something lucky also. I got in, and oh yeah, and definitely the thing that made me feel like I was very lucky during my secondary school year is that that's where I found my friend in life, and who's my best friend until now. You know, a very supportive friend who've been through a lot with me. We've done a lot of things together. We have a lot of good memories, and kind of we kind of not grow up together, but we kind of nurtures how we are together. Um, we share a lot of mindset. We have a lot of disagree, um, but to have someone to listen and to go look for you for advice and to listen to your advice and someone who also listen to you is, well, that's priceless to have in life. And so yeah, I think secondary school year was wonderful. And then I got into high school. That's when I moved away from my house, and that's when I started living by myself in Ho Chi Minh City. And honestly, it doesn't feel as bad. I mean, as a teenager who is kind of know nothing about life, I don't think there's anything that make me feel like I should be careful or cautious about, and that makes me, really feel nonchalant. Like it's like, yep, I'm just moving to Ho Chi Minh City, and that's it. I will going to live there, I'm going to study there, and that's all there is. And well, luckily, I was fine living there. I That's where I joined my dance crew, who boost which boosts my confidence level at that time. I'd say like a lot, and I met wonderful people. I met people who is just so kind to me that it's kind of make me question like, do I deserve that? So yeah, and then I think life start feeling a little bit down when during that COVID year, and I was trying to go into the U.S. and I, well, to be honest, my head wasn't in the game at that point. It's been unsure after high school, and that's also the time that I kind of did not appreciate where I was at all, and mm, I feel like everything I've done is like useless. But it still turned out fine. I'm lucky to have a brother who support me and let me go to the U.S. and study. I start in California, and I was lucky enough to met a wonderful, wonderful host mom who basically let me use everything in her kitchen. I love cooking, so that's just a really big deal for me. She let me use everything. I don't have to buy anything. I use her pans, pots, bowl, spoon, everything. As long as I clean everything's up after use, obviously. And oh yeah, and then she let me use her fridge and shelf and spices. Basically, I use everything. I use everything that she let me to, and well, she was just a wonderful, wonderful lady, and a wonderful person in general. We talked a lot. I love talking. I can just talk for hours and hours and hours, and to have someone also listen to you. Well, she is the same age as my grandmother, so she has a lot of different perspective, but she's very respectful, and she was just a kind person also. And I remember she let me join like her family dinner throughout the American holidays when there was just me and her other family members, and everyone was so nice. I was with her family during Christmas, during Thanksgiving, and she let me help her cook the turkey, which I consider one of the biggest honor I've had so far. Um, but yeah, she made my California years so much better. Like during those years, I definitely did not like feel like I can make any friend. It was quite harsh in school, as in like it's a community college. People don't really stay there. It's kind of hard to see people often, and then you just kind of want to go to class and you go back, and that's it. But I have very good friends at home, so it made me feel much better. And then during my first year, freshman summer, I was lucky enough to land at a an internship at Stanford. Well, I didn't know Stanford was that close from where I live before I came to Mountain View, California, and I ran into some problems and the in terms of eligibility, and the team later I know the team, like my mentor told me that, oh, we was definitely going to keep you anyway, like we worked so hard with the school to resolve your problem just so you can get into the team, and we don't want a replacement. And that's just melt my heart. And yes, I feel lucky to, I choose that to apply to that internship. They have us like a list. They gave us a list, and we have to rank what is, your number one internship was your number two and number three, four, five, and that was my number one choice. Basically, I pour everything into that application, and well, to be chosen is lucky, and to to be accepted by that team. I knew basically nothing going into the internship. um, they have to like teach me everything. Although I was a computer science student, I don't know a single thing in terms of like command line or coding on Python notebook or anything like that. It was a completely new guy jumped into a quite technical role, and everyone kind of just teach me everything. And that one internship has been one thing that I stay in my resume as a bright spot, and as a good experience that I tell in a lot of my job interview later. Well, not that I have that many job interview, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, this it was definitely a wonderful time, and I just feel so lucky. I got to know my team at that point, and yeah, so that was California. After California, I tried to apply to transfer to other university in the U.S., and I end up at George Mason. Well, to be honest, it, I didn't feel like it was a good choice at that time. I definitely feel like I got into like a backup school that I just reused my essay for it. Didn't want to tell people that, oh yeah, I got into that school so and so, and little did I know I would meet some of the best people, and my some of my other friends in life, friend for life in George Mason, who basically helped me in a lot of ways. And yeah, I know of people who never feel like they have any true friend, and sometimes I just keep reflect on how I have a friend basically everywhere I go. A close friend, like not just social friend, someone that I really care about, and I know that they really care about me. And who make me realize, like, being a good friend is not just about like all talk and being with each other, and make me feel like, yeah, that is the one that, although we may not see each other every day, we may not talk to each other every day, we will still be a good friend. Like we will be in each other's mind sometime. And yeah, to have people that make you realize that is a, I don't know, is a treasure in life. And that's that's how I feel like my George Mason years um, was one of the most amazing years of my life. And comes the point when I graduate, it was tough. Um, so to people in Vietnam, if you're watching this video, the U.S. is kind of having like a job crisis right now, and honestly, I feel really hopeless a lot of the time. And to be honest, there's days that I would not want to submit any job application, like none at all. I just don't feel like I have the energy to do so. And this is one of the things that I talked to one of my good friend before, is that I feel like feel as if I am in danger some sort, because I feel like there's nothing that can motivate me, which is, not true. I have a lot of people who, like, trust me and keep me in their mind, but it is what happened. I I I told my friend that I really don't feel like anything or anyone can make me have the energy to apply to jobs every day and fight for my future, basically. And at that time, that friend, um, later he texted me that, you know what, I'm going to be on your case. I'll check on you. I'll make sure you apply job every day. And he asked, how many job do I want to apply to in one day? And well, from what I heard from a lot of my other friends, their goal is kind of crazy. And it, like 40 jobs a day, basically. And I just know I couldn't do that. That was that was what happened to me. And I tell him, you know what? Five. Five is better than zero. And he say, sure. And then since then, every day he texted me and asked me like, did you apply to 5 jobs today? And I did. Um, yeah, so in some way I find motivation, just to have someone who, like, literally pounding on your phones like, did you apply to job every day? Um, and that didn't happen for long, because I think about 2 weeks after that, I had received an interview invitation. So to give you context, I have applied to hundreds of jobs before that, and out of all of that, I had one interview for 6 months. And that interview was because the recruiter was a Vietnamese who posted on a Vietnamese community, and I messaged her, and that's how I got interviewed. And I couldn't get a job because of eligibility. So it was bad. It was really bad. And that interview comes just make me totally like wake up. uh, I didn't even remember what job it was. Looking at that, it honestly is just get to a point. And it's kind of funny, a funny story, because after, well, spoiler alert, I got a job. And after, I just keep telling people like, oh, I got that job because I saw it just pop up like minutes ago on the job board, and I applied to it. And in my mind, I applied to it a very long time ago, and they finally get back to me. Well, what happened was, later I found out that I actually only applied to that job 2 days ago, literally 2 days. And it was not because I was looking at job boards. It was because I randomly go back to Handshake, which is the school job board, and found someone who messaged me 11 days ago. In job searching timeline, that's basically mean don't apply. you never get anything. And well, I did, and I guess this is um, one of the good example of the term. Sometimes your action have consequences, and yeah, a good thing happened. So I got an interview, and I prepped for it so hard because I feel like I will not have another chance in a very long time. And after that 1 hour interview, um, I was told that if I it was around Thanksgiving at that time also, and was told either if you are picked to go into the next round, you will get notified in the next 2 or 3 weeks, which is quite a long time. And on my birthday, which is December 4th, I received an email, and it was an invitation to the last round of interview. So this job only have 2 rounds of interview, which is also a lucky thing by itself. And I basically was shocked. It was my birthday. It was I feel like I cannot have any better birthday gift. It's like literally the best birthday gift I've ever had in my life. And uh, that was a time where I really just throw myself into prepping because they sent the email on December 4th. I have to go on to like a birthday dinner with my friend later. And the day that they ask is December 6th. So 2 days after that. Not even a full 2 day. And during my first interview, I asked my interviewers that if I don't want to get ahead of myself, but if I got to another round, what should I know? And that's what I use for my prep, which honestly has been a strategy that I have been telling my friends ever since. Like, just be honest, ask. Like, the worst they can say is no and fail you. And the interview went great. The interview ended, and comes the point where I was literally I had never wanted anything that much in my life. Before I told you, like in my secondary school year, like the only goal I want to accomplish in my whole life is to get into that high school. Well, this happens again after years of years. Finally, I had that feeling like that is the only thing I want in my life. And quite honestly, because I feel like if I don't have it, I wouldn't be able to have anything in life. And it's just anxiety. It's just crazy anxiety. And well, my friend keep telling me the interview already happened. You already talked to those people. Whatever going to happen from now on, you cannot do anything with it. So there's no point in worrying. Well, I wish I had that mindset. And yep, I got a job, which led to this video where I am right now. I'm living in my own place. I have a well paid job. I have a wonderful team. And I feel like every morning I wake up, I want to go to work. Uh, I don't feel like I'm being tortured or anything when you think about having a job. Uh, yeah, so it just give me that incredible feeling of luck that I have been having ever since I move out. Just anytime I feel sad, I just pause and I look at where I am right now, and I just wonder. I just asking, how did it happen? And one of the things that I did when I feel down is that I would close my eye and I will imagine that when I open my eye, everything bad will go away. Like you will get over it. You will get to a better place. Because sometimes that's how life happen. In a blink of an eye, everything change. And that's what I would do. I would open my eye because this is the time for me to open my eyes and realize how lucky I am. So, yeah, I, I, even until now, as I'm telling you all of this, that feeling is still there. And if you're my friend, you know that I have crazy anxiety, and I basically have this fears of things will end, like the fear of the end. And whenever I feel happy, the next thing I feel is a dread of knowing that happiness will come to an end. And that's that fear still hasn't gone away. I still have a lot of anxiety sometimes. But that's why I want to sit down today and talk about all the happy thing in my life and all the thing that I feel grateful about in my life. Because ultimately I feel like so far everything happened to me make me feel like I'm the luckiest person on this earth. And I want to preserve this feeling through this video, that no matter what happened, things will get better. Yes, things will get better for me. I just know. It's kind of like become my mindset right now. If I ever feel down, there's this hope inside that will never go away, that things will get better. I will be in a better place because I'm a lucky person. And I just feel like there's that feeling is just something that worth, you know, manifest and worth saying it out loud and telling people. And I just hope that somehow it can spread to you. Maybe there will be time that you feel really down. But if you have the hope that things will get better, well, I believe it will get better. And so yeah, and oh, why am I speaking in English? Well, because I just feel like I will get my thought out much easier in English for now. And who knows, I might be famous. You can never know. And yeah, so I think that's it for this video. And if you really watch until now, well, thank you. And I look forward to talk to you on some other time about other topics. Bye bye.